How's that?
There you go.
That's better.
All right, switching over.
I'm live.
You're listening to WRFB Radio Free Britannia. In no other better freaking place in the world than Deltona, Florida. Here you are, lunch with no other than the dynamic duo, Laz and Jack.
And greetings, everybody. This is Laz.
This is Jack, and today we're joined by...
Casey Cupcakes.
Yay. Welcome back, Casey. Glad you got your mic fixed.
And we got Casey, we got Shroud, who's actually behind the scenes, and of course, the mighty Ewok, or the mighty Zor as it is, in game. He's here in studio with us. Welcome to the stream today.
I was going to say that it is March 8th, 2016, so we have a lot of things to talk about. Yep.
Yes, we have a lot of good stuff on tap here today. Of course, day by day, I just love this shit. Always something to talk about, always something going on. Now, I know you got something you want to touch on. I've got a couple things I wanted to touch on. Now, we failed to neglect that somebody was on another show this past weekend. Our own Jack Cynicist was on Wake Up New Britannia this past Saturday, and the audio of that is actually available now for everybody to listen to. Would you like to share that?
So, the Wake Up New Britannia, I did do an interview with Wolfton. There is no L in there, but you might as well just add it just to make fun of him.
We know it's Wolftam, but everybody always throws an L there for some reason. Yeah.
Wolftam. Yeah, so there really is no L there, but for some reason it just wants to be put there. It's like pronouncing caramel correctly. I grew up calling it caramel.
Well,
but yeah,
potato.
So yeah. So I did grow. I did do this interview where it is a "Who are you?" and it's an introduction to the community, so that way they get a better sense of who the person is behind the player as well as who the player is. So I did have to talk about having multiple personalities and some other things. So
to find out who you are, they asked you instead of me and Laz.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
They didn't want the truth.
They asked the guy with the multiple personalities. I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Hold on. Speaking of that, you're going to cause me to do something.
And what am I going to cause you to do? Going to switch personalities
I don't know.
On us midstream here?
Maybe.
But of course, as always, we got some new stuff in the stand-up corner. We got today's calendar and some other news. We were talking about the recap band and stretch goals. They've got stretch goals coming out that have been posted, and there's some really cool stuff I want to touch on there. But you wanted to talk about other stretch goals, which were the ones from here in Shroud of the Avatar. Now, unfortunate, I don't think we can see those on the webpage to even look at those anymore, can we? Last I looked.
We have to go to the original Kickstarter page and then go to the campaign.
Okay, and
so
I'm going to guess
yes,
you
we
happen to have a link for us.
Yes, I do. But I was trying to get to the. There it is. I was getting to the stretch goals for Pronoia real quick, and then I'll get you the link.
Loaded here whenever we're ready to go with that. But I want to talk about that. There's some pretty interesting stretch goals there. We may have to, at least I'm thinking about doing something there. So with one of those stretch goals. We'll have some fun with it.
Well, we can go ahead and start talking about the first stretch goal. Is if the recap band does reach $6,000, that they are going to have a custom designed cover art by Tortoise and Hare Productions.
Yes. And they are not far from that, or where are they at? They're at 5620 as of my last load on there. So 6,000
yes,
doesn't
they need
look like it's going to be
$400.
too hard at all.
Now, and then after that, at 7,000, there will be the official Pro Noia drink recipe and custom recap pint glasses from Relics by Real to everyone at the $25 pledge and up.
Yes.
Which is actually really cool. So that would be more business for our friend Ben. And
absolutely.
Absolutely.
And then, of course, at the 8K level, free vinyl copy of Pro Noia for everybody at the $30 or $50 level and on up, which is a pretty sweet deal when you actually think about it. But they're offering some interesting packages here, including pick a song and date, and they'll do a special live stream performance. Have a custom song made and fully produced, have a reinvented cover song, all sorts of really great stuff being offered by the recap band out here to the fans and the community who are supporting them out there, which I think is really cool.
And yeah, so
I'm thinking
I think that's really cool
to do back one of the cover recreations and have them do something for the show. That's what I'm thinking. But, yeah, see, now you know where my thoughts are with this. I'm going, we can have some fun with this with these guys and, help promote the game, help support them at the same time and, get a little something extra out of it in the meantime. I mean, that's the whole idea. And we'll talk about that. It's something, once I saw the stretch goals were posted yesterday there, I wanted to go out and just go ahead and look at what they had up their sleeves. And now the wheels are turning.
I'm kind of curious what they're going to do for the $10,000 limit.
Well,
that's going to be the fun one.
You're going to have to wait. All right, so back to the original Kickstarter. Now, we're looking for stretch goals on this page, correct?
Yeah, it's about a quarter of the way down. So underneath Tracy Hickman.
Okay. Simple. So we're going to go ahead and bring this up for everybody here. Kush Lady, how you doing? Luca, thanks for joining us today. Dead Spider, always good to see you.
Now, one of the questions I was asked during my interview with Wolfdom was going to be, when do you expect the game to actually launch?
Yes, when we're going from what we're calling early access to actual release. And a lot of speculation on that out there.
So this is one where I did actually have to... I did actually have to think about this a little bit.
Yeah, so I've listened to the interview, and I'm not going to go ahead and roll the whole 15 minutes or whatever it was because we don't want to take up all that
quick.
time.
It was quick.
It was a pretty cool interview, and go ahead and tell the folks.
So the last question really was, when do you expect the game to go to release? And so I said, I don't want to be correct. I want to be wrong on this.
Yes.
Because they can't go to release until they have fulfilled all of the Kickstarter goals. That's where it's like coming back and looking back at the Kickstarter goals becomes one to how close are we with each of these as either hit or miss. So the first goal was a pet system. So do we already have pets in game?
Yes, we do.
Yes, we do. So seasonal weather, that is also implemented. It hasn't been implemented across all the scenes. but that's done. Then to interweave, sorry.
I was going to say, where are you looking at here?
Intervive musical iterative. I think that's what they're trying to spell out. Iterative musical instruments. They misspelled it. Intervive musical instruments. So they will be adding pianos, harps, lutes, flutes, and drums. Okay, do we have pianos in game? Yes, we do. Do we have harps in game? No, we do not. Do we have lutes in game? Yes. Do we have flutes in game? Yes, we do. And we have drums. So the only one we're missing from that Kickstarter goal is the harp, which is relatively easy.
And we know it's coming. Star told us this. There's going to be a carry version and a floor version, like the piano, something that you can't move. And so we know that's coming.
Yeah,
so we check that one off.
We know that one's coming. Yeah. So that one's close to being checked off. Taming, we will expand our pet system to allow players to tame certain monsters to act as pets. We already have that in game, so that's good. Content is king, and YOLO and Spoonie interviews Richard. So Dennis Lubbe cover art, which is already done. The interviews don't really matter, but the new YOLO composition, I don't know if we've had that yet.
And I'm sure that that if it's not there, he'll have something forthcoming. I mean, he's a master bard in the world. I'm sure he's got a couple of things up his sleeve that he can just go, here's something I've never released before. Yeah, so. Yep. No sweat there.
But then, if you also notice 20 additional unique scenes, including Arctic scene sets, 20 additional unique scenes. That one, I don't know how close they've come to, because the starting continent doubles in size. So, but we know they've cranked out a ton of scenes. There's over 150 scenes currently in game. A lot of them are duplicated. But that 20, they're probably pretty close to that one. And this is the one where Shroud away.
Shroud finally getting here.
Welcome,
an update when we're finished with this.
Yeah. Then after that, this is the one that causes me the most consternation. The shipping lanes open for business. Okay, the new island content set and soundtrack. So the new Mysterious Island, which with content, city, and scenes, that is the Hidden Veil. That is already done. But the ports with boats that run on schedules to transport players to areas beyond the mainland, safety not guaranteed, which is be prepared to defend your vessel. Those have not really been implemented as of yet. That's where it's. I mean, right now it's like if you go up to a boat and you double click on it, it just teleports you. It doesn't run on any schedule. And there is no defend your vessel possibility.
Now, we have been told, not told really, but we've heard speculation that at some point when you click that boat to travel, you may have a chance to get sucked into an instance, is my understanding.
Yeah.
So, yes, that would be the way it is. We were just chatting before the show about the schedules, and I'm like, well, the boats are pretty much on demand. I mean, do we need schedules? I mean, we know so much has changed since the conception of these stretch.
See, I would do the schedules just to make it so that way people try to find other ways to get around things, and that also gives them a reason to change those loading scenes.
Good point.
But
every 5 minutes, every 10 minutes, you can catch a boat going to, point A.
Yeah.
Be nice that, every hour or once a day or twice a day, you can catch a boat from one point of the world, but it's going to take you, X amount of journey.
So that, part of that is going, because if you think about this is one where it's like, okay, everybody gets on board the boat, and then it actually ends up traveling. And that becomes a little bit better as far as a transportation system. So you actually have to get on the boat, and then you have that possibility of being attacked at sea, either by pirates or by the Kraken.
The Kraken.
because you have to unleash the Kraken.
Release
Now,
them.
of course, sea serpents or some sort of sea monster is supposedly going to be making an appearance sometime soon here in the near future, we've been told as well.
Unleash the Kraken.
I haven't actually seen any notes on that, but we're waiting for it. I mean, we know it's coming. I would like to see the sea serpent revised and recreated.
Then we need to look at the dynamic and contested resource nodes and optional minimap system. So meteorites, volcanic eruptions, and outbreaks of rare plants and animals can appear and vanish suddenly online and offline for those who are paying attention. Okay, we don't have those random spawns as of yet.
Correct.
And then, so everything is based off of scene. So they need to find some sort of randomization for some of those resources. The optional minimap system for the directionally impaired, I don't know where they're at on that. And then the lost.
Well, we've been told what the story is behind the map, and the story, of course, was no sense in building the map in an ever-evolving world at this point until they have everything else, ready so that they can actually put that into place. I wouldn't.
And we know that. And we know that the world map isn't going to be completed until release 32.
Correct.
So we end up with a lot of time to waste.
But we do know what's going to be going on there. So I'm assuming with everything else, they've got a plan for it. It's just not at the right stage of the game to put this in place.
And the Lost Veil was changed to the Hidden Veil.
Right.
So that is already in game.
Which we know Lum hates. Lum hates the Hidden Veil.
Lum hates lots.
Yes. So the next goal, the Tracy Hickman novel, serialized novel, as a prequel to the Shroud of the Avatar storyline, that's already been done. The massive interconnected underworld with a story and ecology all its own. We do know that the first iteration of that is in game, but it does need substantial work.
Well, and there's a lot to speculate and there's a lot to think about there. A lot of people forget about the sewer systems, but we'll talk about that after you finish this.
Then after that, we already have the beginnings of the apprentice system in game.
Absolutely.
So if you're partied with someone that has a master in a skill, so they have a GM to skill, you actually increase your skill a lot faster in that. And then cloaks with full cloth simulation, including being affected by wind. That is partially there.
We know the lamps and the trees and the grass. We have wind and effects now. I don't think I've ever seen the cloaks and that stuff actually affected as
Be affected by the wind? No. So the full cloth simulation is not really there yet.
That's right. We need rats.
Yeah. A new city center theater building. We have not yet seen that.
Now, I've touched on this several times, the theater, and I'm looking forward to that. It's supposed to be a central theater, and that's supposed to be available for the community to come. And again, that's a curiosity, but good one there.
Yeah, and rentable by an individual for a group for performance. Only approved individuals may access, enter backstage or on stage. Players must pay to enter seating areas. Viewers may only clap. Emotes such as claps. Money goes to the performance for their performance. Also usable for weddings and other community events.
Yay,
and
weddings.
We add a full complement of masks and costumes for use at various events. So the world is a stage is not yet in game. And then this is where it becomes a little bit more interesting. Castles and keeps effectively a new town type where the structure is ownable by players or guilds. Castles and keeps are based off of your pledge level, duke, and lord of the manor. Yeah, they're big enough to be their own towns at times, but they're all within towns. Yeah. Guilds can declare war against other guilds. We have that in game right now, but as soon as you declare war on another guild, it flags you as open PvP. Guilds can declare as full-time PvP. We already have that as well. Guilds can earn a guild house and guild bank. That wording right there is a little bit weird because you can set up a guild house as a guild chapter house, but that's not something that you earn. You still have to use the guild still has to use one of their lots, so someone's lot.
Somebody who didn't pledge and has a house can actually earn money to buy a house and make a guild house. Little, I don't know, but it is in. You can have a guild house. We just don't have the guild bank, which I know a lot of guilds are.
Yeah,
a lot of guilds out there waiting for a banking system that works where gold is, interchangeable.
Yeah, and then after that, the heraldry, which is the one that is nowhere. We have not seen any communication about heraldry in a very long time, which is the guild tabard shield flags usable by all members. That we have not seen at all. And then a minimum of 5 castle types added to the game. So this is where we have 5 castle types?
Well, that depends on how you look at it. The castles in Odorus and all these other locations counted. Is Brittany, the castle in Brittany counted? How are we counting this?
I was going to be even more. The answer is technically yes, because if you think about it, the Lord of the Manor Founder House, the Twin Spire with Peaks Castle, and then the other house that they have that's 2 castles. So the Founder and the Benefactor.
True.
Then after that, for the Duke level, you have the Duke Founder, the Duke Benefactor, and then if you really want to be technical, you could go with the Duke Founder Water.
And yes,
which is the city-size plot.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so being very, very literal, they could say that there are 5 castle types. Castle merchants with unique merchandise, we do not yet have that in game.
Sure we do.
Really?
We got merchants.
Castle merchants with unique merchandise. Is there something that my vendors can only sell that yours can't if you had a lesser pledge than I did?
Okay, you got a point there.
Yeah, it's semantics.
Yes.
Castle defense scenarios, it is all semantics. So castle defense scenarios for most castles which can be played offline as well as online. So this would only impact the in-game castles, but we don't have any castle defense scenarios yet.
Not yet.
So that's one where they actually have to do the town sieges and everything else. And that's the actual stretch goals for Shroud of the Avatar. So then I don't see any other Kickstarter goals.
Now those are ones that have been met. The other ones here on this list were never met, and hence
the other ones were not met, so they don't. Yeah.
But that's a good synopsis for anybody who's keeping track of what it's actually going to take to make that leap between the early access and, of course, full final release, even though we have a wipe that everybody's calling that release. But
so they can't go live until they actually say that they have met those Kickstarter goals.
Yes. But Yeah, we've got, of course, somebody else joined us here in studio just a few minutes ago while we were talking about all this.
Correct.
And he's wondering why he's even here. And I didn't realize that I was going to get his curiosity up that much because it's all in giggles and grins. And, of course, just gives us another chance to talk about Hobloth anyway.
But a Kush lady says that Charm put YOLO's Soda Music on SoundCloud, the Baron East March. That was originally a Ultima song, Corellia's song, I think.
Yep.
Yeah, quite possibly. But, again, the way him and Richard have been together and friends for so long, I won't be surprised to even see more than just that come into the game as we progress from him. Richard loves his stuff, and we love his stuff as well. So, the community always loves to have YOLO's music. One of Jack's favorites of all time. Yes, Hobloth. So, do we have a new person coming to Hobloth? Yes or no?
Yes.
Did Scrota pass the test? Did he get naked for you?
Did you get naked during your interview?
That's a secret.
Yeah, only people who are interviewed actually know the answer to that question. Anyway.
In fact, Scrota is why I'm here right now.
Yes, I told him to say hello to you, and just, if you had some time to come over and say hello to us over here. How you doing today, Rustic? Thanks for joining us.
I'm doing well. It's good. It's good to be back. Had a great interview with Scrota, and it's of course nice to hear Jack and Les's voice again. And I've been talking to Casey in the background here, and so it's nice. I feel like I walked into my favorite tavern and just started talking to friendly faces.
There you go. And everybody's welcome here. As always, we are on Discord, and when we are live, you're more than welcome to come join us. When we're not live, you're more than welcome to join us. Come to NBNN.info. Discord app's right there on the main screen. Type in your name, click the button, come on in, say hello, talk to us. Tell
It's
us
no
about
hearth,
stuff.
but you're always welcome.
That's right. But
Now that we have Rustic here, we can get the official word on 3 things about Hobloth.
Ooh, 3 things about Hobloth.
3 things about Hobloth that you've been dying to know.
3 things.
Dying to know.
All right. Well, I am here to answer your questions. So you lead. I will answer to the best of my ability.
So yesterday you did tweet out the Hobloth maps have increased in size. Now I'd like you to go into detail a little bit. What benefit does that larger map provide?
Okay, I am.
We know how hyped you are.
Yeah, I'm super excited about this. There's several reasons. One, not counting the Japanese maps. Traditionally, Ultima Cloth maps are 14 by 14 or 16 by 16. As far as I know, there's nothing bigger than that, and there's nothing smaller than that. Again, with the exception of the Japanese Ultima Cloth maps. And the Japanese Ultima Cloth maps are an entire different story. They're all different shapes and sizes. But for the US and European versions, they're all 14 by 14 or 12 by 12, or somewhere. I'm sorry, 14 by 14 or 16 by 16 or some variant of that. What made the Hobloth cloth map unique from Hobloth 2, it was only 12 by 12, but it was the world's first and only double-sided cloth map for an Ultima. And I like to joke that the Hobloth is an Ultima. But there is one US non-square Ultima map, and it is a hard-to-find cloth map that came with one of the Ultima Onlines. It had Britannia on it, and it also had the Lost Lands on the other side. I believe it's the Lost Lands. And so it's a non-square cloth map. There's only one, as far as I know, outside of Japan that exists like that. So following that precedent, it turns out I really wanted to get a 16 by 16 this year, but I have to order those in batches of 1,500, and that's a little bit much. I'm able to get 18 by 12, and that's super, super, super exciting because one, it's neat, but two, it's really important because Richard's property of Castleton is not square.
Yeah, right. It's not something
it
you
is-
could have planned to make square so he can print a map.
Right, it is rectangular. So trying to depict Castleton on a square is not easy. And last year I did it by having a zoomed in area in the bottom and like a zoomed out area at the top. It was a hack. It wasn't very legible. It wasn't terribly useful. And it's important that the maps are useful. You know, I want someone to come to the event, get their map, and be able to find their way around the venue with the map.
Absolutely.
And so with 18 by 12, I think I can do that. I think I will have the aspect ratio that I can make a truly useful map of Castleton. So, and then of course, figuring out how to take Britannia on the front and put it on a square map when Britannia is square, I'm sorry, put it on a rectangular map when Britannia is square is also a really fun design challenge that I've got a few ideas on how to solve. So I'm just excited because it's going to make a really good map of Castleton. It's going to be unique. It's going to be another unique trinket out there for fans to get their hands on. It's something I'm excited to make. It's a fun design challenge. Just everything about this excites me.
Gotta love it. Gotta love it.
Yep.
Now, I'm seeing on the funding goals here real quick while we got you. You've reached a lot of the funding goals for Hobloth. And you want to just touch on that real quick while we got you? And then Jack will get to the other 2 points.
You bet. So the highest funding goal was to have custom-made Hearth of Britannia currency. So at the the second event in 2014, we had coppers, silvers, golds, and gems. And that was used to purchase additional weapons, to buy food, to pay your rent for the night. You know, it was used to make the world more realistic. And I made them out of plastic coins that I could order off the internet. And I thought it'd be really cool to have metal coins made that players could take home and then bring back and have an advantage. But the problem is that at this point, there's just not enough time to get the artwork made and have the coins printed, even if the money is raised. Because I was going to do a collaborative artwork with Scott Jones and Dennis LeVay, and I was going to pay them for that, and that was part of the money. You know, part of that $3,500 that was needed to do that. And so obviously we weren't going to start on that artwork unless we knew it was going to happen. But at this point, it's simply too late to try to make that happen. So instead, I've started to talk about what we're going to have instead, using that same money. And I've started listing some of those things. One of the things, of course, is the 18 by 12 cloth maps. They cost approximately twice as much to get that size. So we're not getting custom coins, but the good news is we're still going to get coins. I have it on good authority that a certain beneficial, a certain really beneficent lord who is our king may let us borrow his royal treasury to have coins at the event.
Oh, very
So
interesting.
we may get to borrow the royal treasury to have in-game currency. So I'm pretty confident that we're going to have in-game currency, even though it's not going to be currency we can take home, and it's not going to be, custom. It's still going to be present. So that's really important, because having currency at the event adds a really important level of depth. So because we're not getting the custom coins, we're getting better cloth maps, which is really cool.
Absolutely.
I was able to order custom magic weapons. So at the other event, we had some magic weapons made, or not made, but ordered. And they kind of worked. We pretended, well, this is blue, so it kind of is Mage Bane, and this is red, so it's kind of a flame sword. But I was able to order custom weapons through Calamassel that look quite a bit like what they actually look like in the game. So Mage Bane is this wonderful blue scimitar with a gold handle in Ultima 7, and what I've ordered looks just like that. And the Shade Blade, the Blackrock sword, has a very unique shape to it as well, and I was able to order something super close to, which I will then further customize to look even more right once I get my hands on it.
Cool.
And the other thing is, last year, you started with a bag of coins. Well, the bag of coins in itself was pretty cool, these little bags with the codex symbol on it. And because we're not having custom coins, we're going to have the coin bags again. So that's a nice thing that people were able to take home. And of course, there's a whole lot of other stuff that I'm planning to get that's going to make the world seem more alive, just like in 2014, that I originally wasn't planning on doing because of budget, but now, it's
a little
really
bit more
important.
free, as it may be.
Yeah. On one hand, it's sad that the custom currency isn't happening, but on the other hand, the stuff that's happening
unlocks
instead.
new awesomeness.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
It's something that's bad
yeah.
turns out to be something that could be really even more fantastic, even though it's not.
Oh,
nice
yeah,
yet.
yeah.
Cool.
The stuff that I'm doing instead is going to make it a way more immersive world than custom coins.
Now,
You
talking
know,
about immersion,
Just frankly.
Jack has been fully speculating here. No.
This becomes a time to run thing, just because. No, but okay. So let's stay on the swords real quick. Now, you did make a rule change under the combat for Hobloth veterans, and that Hobloth veterans are allowed to bring their own magic weapons.
Right.
Which is a huge change from the way it was before.
So this is so. Do you have a question that you're leading up to, or do you want me to just wax poetical about this?
I want you to wax poetical about this, so that way Laz forgets the other thing.
Okay. Well, now I'm interested in what the other thing is. So
Conjecture stemming straight from me.
So I've done this a few times. All right, I've done this for a few different reasons. Firstly, if you go to the Hobloth combat page, and if you could compare what it is now to what it was before I made the change, before there was a category for weapons: sword, shield, staff, axe, etc. And then there was a category for magic weapons: Shade Blade, Mage Bane, Fire Sword, etc. In the 2014 event, nobody brought their own weapons because nobody really knew what was going to happen.
Good point.
I provided 100 swords from China and a whole bunch of different weapons that people could upgrade to in the armory, and the magic weapons were scattered around, hidden. You either had to quest for them, or you had to save a bunch of money to buy them. The flame sword was available in the armory, and it literally cost an arm and a leg. It said that on the price schedule. It literally said arm and leg. So an extra sword may have been 500 coins. A two-handed sword may have been 1,500 coins. But the flame sword was literally arm and leg. And somewhere in the event was a bloody severed leg and a bloody severed arm. And if you found them and brought them to the armory, then you got the flame sword.
Too funny.
So, so you would quest for these magic weapons last year. But this year, I thought, well, what's preventing people from bringing their own weapons this year? And, are people going to try to bring weapons that have an advantage? Because these magic weapons are definitely better than the regular weapons. What's going to prevent someone from bringing an upgraded weapon? Someone wants to bring a long sword instead of a short sword because everybody starts with a short sword. And I thought, well, here's how I'm going to handle that. If you are a veteran, if you've been to one of my events before and you've essentially earned your right to have an upgraded weapon, then you can bring an upgraded weapon. So if you want to bring a magic weapon, you want to bring a long sword, so anything other than a short sword, you're welcome to bring it. But if you're not a Hobloth veteran, if you're a new person, then you must start essentially at level 1.
Level
to put
1
in video game terms. Exactly. You start with a short sword. I'm letting people bring bows, and I'm letting people bring their own weapons, as long as those weapons that they bring don't give them an advantage, unless they're a veteran. Now, if someone has like this really tremendously cool, two-handed sword that they bring, and they're like, but I want to use it, I'll say, that's fine, just earn some gold, buy a two-handed sword at the armory, and then use your pool, right? And then once they become a Hobloth veteran, then they can bring it to the next event, assuming I have another event. But if you look at the combat page, there's now 3 categories of weapons. So there's normal weapons, magic weapons, and legendary weapons. So the category of magic weapons is what veterans are allowed to bring. A red-bladed weapon has a fire status, a blue-bladed weapon has a magic negation status, a green weapon has a poison status, and a black-bladed weapon is a blackrock weapon. And these just basically do, more damage. So if you hit someone with a sword, if you hit them in the chest, they die. If you hit them in leather armor, you have to hit them twice, because one shot hits the armor, one shot hits the body. If they're wearing metal armor, you have to hit them 3 times, twice to get through the armor, and then once to hit the body. But a blackrock weapon, for example, does 2 points of damage. So if they're wearing leather armor, one shot will cut through the leather armor and take out the body part, or one shot will destroy the metal armor. So those are your upgraded weapons that veterans are allowed to bring. They're also, of course, able to purchase them from the armory using in-game currency, provided there's a surplus of them. I'm not sure how many I'm going to have on hand, because of the budget. But the third tier of weapons are the legendary weapons. And the legendary weapons all have a unique ability, and there's only one of them. So that harkens back to the 2014 event, where you had to go on a quest. So my plan is moving forward. So let's think about the next event. If I have a next event, the plan would be Hobloth veterans can bring upgraded and magical weapons. The legendary weapons will always be collected at the end of the event and always redistributed at the beginning of each event, and there'll be quests that people have to go on to find these events, these magical legendary weapons, rather. So that way they're unique, they're powerful, they're highly sought after, and they always end up in a different person's hands each game. And cool. So I like that idea, because these things do much more powerful stuff. So a blue-bladed magical weapon, if you're holding it, you're immune to magic, for better or for worse. You can't be healed, but you also can't be nuked with a fireball. But aside from that, it's just a standard magical sword. Just a standard sword, right? It negates magic, but it's just a sword. But the Mage Bane, the legendary version of the magic negating sword, it does more than 1 point of damage. So it's an upgraded sword, it negates magic, and once per life you can point the sword at an opponent and yell "in on Ort," and they can't cast magic until they die. So you can once per life mute someone with this sword. So it's a true Mage Bane. So if someone's trying to cast a spell on them, you can mute them, and they can't cast anything until they have died and resurrected. Similarly, the legendary Fire Sword, you can set a person on fire from across the field. The legendary Blackrock Sword, you can use it to just instant kill someone from across the field. Again, it only works once per life. But so the legendary weapons are definitely super, super powerful weapons. But that's why if you see someone with one, you run.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool.
I'm excited.
I'm telling you, I don't know what excites me more, your enthusiasm for the whole thing, or just, hearing you tell us about all this stuff and anticipating being there myself, really looking forward to this. And we got a lot of chatter in the chat room about it. Looks like we have several of our members who are watching who are going to be there in person, so we get to meet a whole bunch of them folks as well. Really looking forward to that. It's going to be a really great time.
It's going to be a ton of fun.
I got to dig the enthusiasm. Now,
Well, I appreciate that, and I was telling Scroda today when he interviewed, and I want to stress this to anyone out there who's listening. I don't care if you know everything about Ultima. I don't care if you know everything about Shroud of the Avatar. Some of the people who came in 2014 that had the most fun had never played Ultima. They were dating someone who were crazy Ultima fans, and they came to support their person they were dating. And they wanted to try to understand why Ultima was so important.
Trying to get into their significant others' heads and figure out what the fascination is. Yeah, I dig it. I dig it.
And these people came, and they were open-minded, they were enthusiastic, and they were energetic. And that right there is why it mattered. Like why they passed the interview. Well, I don't really know anything about Ultima. Well, that's fine, but you're super excited for what this event is. These people came to the interview. I've got 13 outfits. I can't decide which one I want to buy. I can't wait to put my character together. I can't wait to see what's so great about Ultima. This is so exciting. I've never done anything like this before, but I really want to. All I care about as a host is enthusiasm. So you've never done this before, that's fine. Do you want to? Are you excited?
Yeah.
Then you pass. Then you're in, right? All you need is to be willing to respect the rules, because if we don't respect the rules, then there's no game. You can only have a fantasy element in the real world by pretending. So we all have to agree to pretend together. So if you can respect the rules and you're enthusiastic about it, you are exactly the type of person that should be coming to one of my events. And if you are super into Ultima and Shroud of the Avatar, then that is just a very, very wonderful bonus.
Cool. Yeah, we're all looking forward to it. Jack and I are working on our dress and attire and all that fun stuff.
You're going to wear a dress?
Our attire. It's not a dress. It's a kilt, damn it.
It's a skirt.
It's a kilt, damn it.
Tie.
I'm going to be wearing a kilt one of those days.
Nisa.
But I'm looking forward to it.
I just need the proper knee socks.
I'll be sporting a tie only.
Oh, Casey.
Oh dear.
Get me excited.
He's going to make it Sienna's event.
Yeah, should
really
we talk
interesting.
about that?
I don't know. Has it been approved?
I actually have not talked to Richard about that yet.
Was this
That's up to you guys. It's your show.
The naked event? Is this the one that I've heard tell of through the grapevine?
So,
I don't know.
So this is Sienna Thorne's idea. This is not. It's not Rustic's. It's not mine. It's not Casey's. This is Sienna Thorne.
Oh, sure.
Who decided
Sienna.
that she wanted.
She's not here.
She did.
I like the idea.
Call her.
I don't know why you're just a singer.
It was essentially strip fencing. So you can't kill a person until they're naked. And so you actually have to touch the different parts of armor or clothing that they're wearing to get them to take it off. And then from there, it's like, as soon as they're naked, then you can kill them. This was Sienna Thorne's quest that she was thinking about doing, but that does require Richard's approval because it is on a lake. And there will be people like running around on boats
People
on that lake
jet skis
because the
and
weather
folks
should be
out fishing
nice. Yes.
and families.
That being
on
said, would my
pontoons.
cane hand still be immortal?
Yeah.
What's this?
Well,
Being...
Casey has certain benefits.
Gotcha.
But he also has certain disadvantages to weigh that down, to counteract that.
I got you. Yeah, I'm looking forward to this. So anyway, Jack's hoping I forgot about this, but we're gonna touch on this before we start wrapping it up here, because we got to wrap it up. You had mentioned something about a wedding, and of course then.
Okay. So this is
wildly
me
speculative here on the air. Now we were talking about
me throwing out the biggest rumor. This is me throwing out the biggest rumor because first we need to publicly congratulate Rustic on his engagement.
Yes, absolutely.
Well, thank you, firstly.
And then I threw out the rumor that you were going to get married at Hobloth.
Okay, so that's let me dispel the rumor. No, I'm not.
No, don't do that. But then Kazin Phoenix Fire. Yeah.
Hold on.
Kazin Phoenix Fire did talk about actually renewing his wedding vow at the event.
Yes, he says him and Jenny have actually discussed possibly renewing their vows. So we just wanted to throw it out there because Jack was having some fun with this wildly speculative rumor out there. And, of course, I'm going, ooh, that would be really cool if he was going to pull something like that off. But we had to find out whether there might be any chance that actually that happened.
See, that's why you don't dispel rumors.
So we can continue
fun with that kind of rumor.
Well, it's important that I dispel the rumors because in this particular case, I don't need rabid family members freaking out. You didn't tell me, blah blah blah. I am very much wanting to dispel these rumors. So firstly, thank you for the congratulations. But actually, my fiance and I, we've had a long engagement. Much longer than either of us have planned due to the whole me moving to Texas thing. But we actually got engaged in November of 2013. You can see the proposal on YouTube. If you go to my YouTube channel, the Hearth of Britannia YouTube channel, at youtube.com/therusticdragon, you can actually see the proposal.
Oh, we'll have to go look.
Yes, that's it. But we finally decided, hey, we need to start talking about this. So it was always not now. Like we wouldn't even have a conversation about it because so many things were just not right. And what happened the other day is we decided that it was time to start talking. And I got super excited because, damn it, I won it. And I may have jumped the gun a little bit and said that planning has started, and it is planning in the most basic sense of the word.
And you're already getting married at Hobloth. I mean, see how that happens.
Exactly. Apparently, I'm getting married in June and didn't know it.
Yeah, you always wanted a June wedding, right?
There we go.
Not in Texas.
We didn't tell you you're marrying Jack in June.
All right. Hey, well, Jack and June. That almost sounds like a sitcom.
Oh man. Yeah.
It's going to be a very awkward marriage.
But yeah, I appreciate the congratulations. But I can tell you this. If what we have tentatively talked about works out, it will be awesome. It will be cool. And of course, the world will know about it in a very public, very, very Rustic Dragon-like fashion, meaning, of course, there's going to be a website and a whole bunch of hullabaloo and,
Oh, of course. This is you we're talking about here.
Yeah. I'm not going to screw around with this. What little boy doesn't dream of planning his wedding? And wait, I guess it's...
Hold on.
What little LARPer boy doesn't
dream
of planning his wedding, right?
There we go.
So
when you're ready, I have the confetti cannon.
Hey, all right. I'm all for that. I want that to happen on the honeymoon.
But meanwhile, we got to start wrapping it up here, Rustic. Thanks for those updates, and of course, I had to get you in on all this fun and adventure over here as well. And we always love
thank you
hearing
for
about
having me.
Hobloth. And of course, we'll invite you back time and time again as we draw closer to find out. Every time we see you post a new update out there, if we got questions, we'll call you in for some answers. And we're looking forward to it. Meanwhile,
tell everybody about the forward roll.
Okay, one more quick story. So I have been giving Hobloth combat fencing lessons to Jack and Sienna and Blake and now Casey, and people kind of come in and out, but every week we have a Hobloth fighter practice, and I try to impart some of my former fencing knowledge to everybody through footwork drills. And the last thing that we did on Sunday, I said, all right, let's line up and we're going to teach you guys one more advanced maneuver. So I have everybody line up and I said, all right, advance, now retreat. Okay, now watch, are you ready? Now forward roll. And I just, rolled, just completely rolled on the ground, forward, popped up on my feet, and I said, now you do it. And everybody walked away and said no.
Everybody walked away, sat down, and said, "This guy's crazy."
I was laughing the entire time, though.
Jack hasn't stopped talking about it. He's like, "I can't believe Rustic just went ahead and did a forward roll like that."
Well, he was planning it. He was planning it. Okay, so.
Hey, you said it's been 20 years since you've done that. The answer is, if you go do one right now, then it will only have been 5 minutes.
That's right.
So you need to go do one.
And he'll be paying for it for the next 20 years.
I'll be like, oh, why did I do that again?
But meanwhile, we got to start wrapping it up here, guys. We do have a time crunch. We got the calendar to knock out.
Okay.
Of course, thank yous and
calendar short and sweet.
Yeah, very short and sweet today.
Yep, calendar is short and sweet. Remember, our calendar is provided by Avatar Circle. All times are Central Standard Time or New Britannia Time, as we call it in game. So today at 2 o'clock, out in Paxlayer, Sean Silverfoot is doing his town manager hour. So if you have any questions about the Paxlayer community or group of towns, you can go talk to Sean Silverfoot about that. At 6 o'clock on Avatars Radio, we have Dr. DJ Sully doing his Faster and Louder, which is going to be some classic guitar riffs from the 70s and 80s. At 7 o'clock, if you are interested in doing a little bit of PvE, the EVL Guild is doing a dungeon crawl that is going to start right near the town, the skill trainer in Owl's Head. So please meet there at 7 o'clock and say, hey, I want to go hunting with you guys. Then the last event for Tuesday, March 8th, is going to be DJ Lady Addie on Avatars Radio with some 80s and more. And that is all of the events on today's calendar. Yeah, slow day.
Yes, slow day. We got a couple more weeks before the next release, but we'll keep you up on that. We never did do the stand-up corner today, so we'll catch you up on what the developer's working on tomorrow's show. I want to say thanks to our sponsors, of course, Ben over at Relics by Rild. We'll get all your licensed Shroud of the Avatar swag direct from him. Use the promo code NBNN, get 10% off your order there, Relics by Rild. Of course, our friend at sodamap.com, Jacob White, Nick Knack over at sodataming.com, and of course, Ashmal over at sodacraft.com. All these great services provided by the community for you, the players out there, to take advantage of. These guys put all the hard work into gathering the information to make your life easier. So go check those guys out, give them some support, get yourself some great swag from Rild. He's got great prices, he's got great quality, and you just can't beat it. Good stuff. But let's go ahead and roll on out of here, Jack. I want to thank everybody out there for watching today. Everybody who's out.
Yes, thank you,
audience.
Thank you, Joseph, the little rustic dragon, for showing up. Thank you, Casey. Thank you, Scrota. Thank you, Ewok. Thank you, everybody. The mighty Ewok. Thank you, Akush Lady, Stella Moon, McAllister, Luca, Casey, We already got everybody.
Thanks,
here.
everybody.
We
Dreadfully
love you
despised.
guys.
Yeah, thank you. We love it,
Appreciate
everybody.
all the support every day from the community out there. And we do it for you folks. If it wasn't for you folks, we wouldn't be out here doing what we're doing. We love what we do, and we love this shit. And we're going to continue to be bringing it to you. We'll be talking more later on this week about our birthday plans coming up. That's right, NBNN's got a birthday coming up this month, 1 year anniversary. And we'll bring you more about that later on. Alrighty, folks, we're going to go ahead and wrap it up and get out of here. I'm Laz.
I'm Jack.
Casey Cupcake.
Scrota.
And we are NBNN. Thanks for watching, everybody. Stay tuned to NBNN for more news, sports, interviews, crazy wild happenings, anything else we can bring you here in Shroud of the Avatar. Stay tuned, and we'll see you all again tomorrow. Thanks for watching.
I love my baby daddy.
Casey's the baby daddy.
You missed
I love it.
Quit dispelling my rumors. My rumors are the best.
Sorry. Oh, I had to because I got in trouble for tweeting that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Then it is best to quash it.
Yeah. So I mentioned that it had started planning, and her family freaked the fuck out and started interrogating